Yes. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Maria. Hello. 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 Sir. ரெடி ஆயிடுச்சு போயிட்டு சார். இன்னும் அவங்க ஆரம்பிக்கல. லைவ் போட்டது ஆடியோ மட்டும் தான். இப்பெல்லாம் ஓகே சார், ஆடியோ தான் இருக்கு. அதான் பேசும்போது தெரியும். ஓகே. Hello. 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 Hello.
Orange. Hello. Hello, orange.
Hello. 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 ஓடிட்டு இருக்கு.
Good morning, esteemed external expert, research coordinator, HODs, faculty members, guests, and students present here. I am honored to welcome you all to the PhD Viva-Voce of Scholar Johnson BU on the thesis titled Catholic Education in Nagaland, Its History and Development. We are thankful for joining you. Thank you for joining us here all, and to access the work of our scholar who has dedicated his time and effort for this research. I also like to extend a warm welcome to our external expert, Professor Dr. Chonzik, Assam University, Diphu campus, Assam, for kindly agreeing to evaluate Johnson's work despite your busy schedule. We are honored to have you here, sir. Your experience and insights are invaluable, and we appreciate your contribution to this important academic exercise. We look forward for an engaging and productive session. A special welcome to our research coordinator, Dr. K. Rajaganesh, Center for Research. Thank you, sir, for joining us here, sir. I also like to welcome HODs of various departments, faculty members, guests, students present here today. I also look forward for a meaningful and fruitful discussion. Thank you all, and all the best. Good morning, one and all. Now I would like to take the opportunity to give a brief introduction of the research scholar. The name of the research scholar is Father Johnson BU. His registration number is 18036020016. Discipline, History. Title of the thesis, Catholic Education in Nagaland, Its History and Development. With this brief introduction, may I now request permission from the external examiner to resume the presentation by the scholar. Sir, shall we begin? Thank you, sir. Now I give time to the scholar for the presentation, which will be followed by taking questions from the audience and the external examiner. Father Johnson, you may take the time.
Good morning, all of you. Respected Supervisor Dr. Avinuo, Head of the Department of History, St.Joseph University, Honorable External Examiner, Professor Dr. Paul P. Changkiri, Professor of Assam University, Diphu campus, respected Internal Examiner, Dr. Lanuchila, Changkiri, Assistant Professor, St.Joseph University, officials, delegates, HODs, faculty members, students, my dear friends. The university has approved my thesis through the guidance of my supervisor, Dr. Avinuo, and the external examiners have evaluated and given me the opportunity to defend my thesis. So I stand before you with gladness and with a bit of nervousness to defend it. The order of the presentation is as follows. I don't read out everything, it will be following in sequence. The history is not a past data or records to be found in the books alone, or is to be piled up in the shelves. As Marcus Grau says, a people without the knowledge of the past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. Catholic education in Nagaland has a long history Hundreds of missionaries have involved in the Catholic education in Nagaland. The Catholic Church began officially on 31st December 1948 with the arrival of missionaries like Sister Margarita Sefre and Guadalupe, who came along with Monsignor Emmanuel Baus as the chaplain. Today, the Catholic education ministry in Nagaland is served by 209 priests, 483 religious nuns, 107 schools, of which we have 30 in urban, 77 schools are in rural, 30 high secondary schools, 30 high schools, 14 elementary and 9 upper primary and 24 primary schools. For B.Ed colleges, one B.Ed college, for colleges, one MSW and one university. That is what we have today. There is no district in Nagaland without a Catholic school. We can see it from the map of Nagaland. So these are the mission centers of Nagaland, and every mission center has one or two institutions under it. The review literature, it is a very important aspect of research. Much review of literature is available about education and other parts regarding to school, Catholic churches in the world, also the Northeast, and sometimes we can see the literature is available even for Nagaland. But there are few literatures you may find across which comes as handy, and I like to highlight few literatures that reviewed for my studies. They are, I do not read them out, you can see for yourself. Then after taking the insight from these review literatures, we'd like to present the chronological overview of the Catholic mission activities in the region, addressing the challenges faced and highlighting that significant contribution to education and social development in Nagaland. Also, the literature review would help to explore further into the education activities undertaken by the Catholic priests and nuns in Nagaland, a topic that has not been previously examined much. After going through the review of literature, it is found that much literature is available actually on various topics of the Catholic Church. But however, little research work has been done on the role of the Catholic Church in Nagaland, the Catholic missionary work, and the service of priests and nuns in Nagaland towards education. Also, the challenges faced by the missionaries in the spread of education and the impact of education. By departing from the previous researches, this study aims to investigate the role of Catholics in the growth and development of education in Nagaland. Hence, it is proposed that a study be undertaken under the title Catholic Education in Nagaland, its history and development. Statement of the photo. The Catholic missionaries' primary aim of coming to Nagaland was to evangelize the Naga society. They found that they are not ready. So they need to educate them first. So they began the schools in order to spread the good news. So the present study attempts to explore the origin of Catholic and Catholic education, as well as the missionary struggle in the development of Catholic education promoted to Naga society. Catholics in a short time established high quality schools as part of their missionary work across Nagaland. Soon these schools were in demand. Hence the study examines the role of the Catholic missions in enhancing the quality of education in the state of Nagaland. The role of the Catholic mission is to bring quality to schools in the state, which has been transformed the state in many ways, including how this quality of education has promoted the Naga society and how the quality of education has ensured employability in Nagaland. And this study attempt aims to investigate the impact of Catholic education on the students' performance and career development. Besides this, Catholics have served the Naga society and worked for their well-being for the society. Many higher officials and many states of Nagaland have educated in Catholic schools. Hence, this study attempts to analyze the contribution of Catholic mission work in promoting the well-being of the Naga society and empowering this society. The mission work of the Catholic Church need to be projected, recalled, and systematically recalled. So the present study aims to document and assess the contribution of the Catholic Church and the missionaries to the development of Naga society, with particular focus on the educational impact. Objective of the study. Given the survey of the literature and scope, the objectives of the study are: the first objective is to explore the origin, struggle, and growth and development of Catholic education in promoting the Naga society. The second objective is to investigate the degree to which Catholic mission will promote quality of education, quality of schools, quality of teaching, quality of teachers, and quality of students towards the education of Nagaland. The third objective of the study to promote the impact of Catholic education on the performance of the students, career advancement of the students, employability of the students regarding the education of the Nagaland. The fourth and the last objective of the study to analyze the contribution of Catholic mission work in the promotion of standard of living of the supportive staff, empowerment of people, and social service in the Naga society. Based on given the objectives, the hypotheses considered for the proposed study are as follows. You can see the first objectives have 10 hypotheses, which I will be reading it out later. Therefore, I will skip this. The second objectives have 3, and the third objectives have again 3, so 6. There are 6 hypotheses to be dealt. We will do it in the analysis and the findings. Once these set hypotheses are formed, the method for the research is done. The research methodologies close. Various research approaches are used. Different research methods are used. And the research approaches are deductive approach, inductive approach, quantitative, qualitative approach. Research methods are exploratory research method, descriptive method, imperial research method. Data collection design. Once the method is also done, we have done the following design for the data collection. Pilot study was conducted. Primary and secondary data were collected. Sampling method is done using the purposive sampling method. Samples are collected. And the sample size is determined by the sample technique used by the Hedges and Morgan's small sample technique. Accordingly, the total population and as per the formula, a set number of samples need to be examined. The total population that we are taken for the study in the Catholic education schools, 107 schools, 344 priests and nuns. The teachers and staff 2,689, students 70,194, and the parents are as per the formula. As per the formula, calculation in the following sample size is determined for the study: 86 schools, 172 priests, 1,082 staff, and the parents are used. Questionnaire design. The questionnaires were meticulously designed based on the variable identity for this study. The 5-point scaling technique was employed, and the questionnaire were distributed and collected data for interviews from the teachers, students, principals, and vice principals of Catholic schools. The data analysis various. The data were analyzed using SPSS software, and the reliability test of Cornbus alpha was used. Once sample homologous test is done, Pearson correlation, Spearman correlation, Wizard test and regression analysis were done. Find the findings. Followed by the chapterization. The thesis is consisted of 6 chapters. The first chapter deals with introduction, that is with objective, hypothesis, the methodology. Second chapter deals with the history of Catholic education. It is in line with the first objective of the study. Third chapter is quality of Catholic education. That is in line with the second objective of the study, to study the quality that will determine the Catholic schools. The fourth chapter, performance of students in the Catholic education. It is in line with the third objective of the study. And the fifth chapter is innovators of Catholic mission, the fourth objective of the study. And then we have sixth chapter as conclusion. I just give a highlight of chapter 2. The objective of the chapter 2 is to explore the origin, struggle, and growth and development of Catholic education in promoting the Naga society. So the origin of Catholic Church, it goes back from the world. If we see how it originated, and all the details are there. And then original of this Catholic education has a model, and that model can be traced back into the history. And we have 3 models of schools that we have. One is catechetical schools or catechetical school. This was used only to give faith formation in the beginning. Later, this school term are developed into monastic school, where the monks taught and the teaching was of free. It was half religious as well as half secular. Then there again another type of school began, that is cathedral school we call it, and that is mostly the model for these days. And this school is taken by the initiative of some bishops under their diocese. The cathedral, they called the priests and told them to educate the students. So they collected together people under the cathedral. They began. They followed the curriculum of the monastic school, and this school has spread to Europe, and wherever the Europeans went, they took along with the schools. And today, this Catholic school is very much influential all over the world. And we can see the statistics today where we stand. Catholic schools. There are 222,000 schools catering to the needs of 65 million students. 70,000 preschools, 1 lakh primary schools, and 50,000 secondary schools. Catholic origin, again, Catholic education in Nagaland. If you look back into the history of India, India was the first place to be evangelized is Malabar coast when St. Thomas came in 1522 AD, but there was not much impact. But with the coming of the Portuguese, there was a lot of impact. And the first diocese that began in Goa in 1533 made the impact on the education. Thus, as soon as the diocese was created, they began the school, the European model school, first time outside Europe, India, and that was the Santa Fe School in Goa. This was run by the Franciscan. Later on, it was taken over by Francis Xavier, the great missionary, and he developed that one into a college called St. Paul's College in 1548. And later we can see that many other schools began all over India, that is in Tamil Nadu, in Kerala, and this gave the English education gave a boost by Lord Macaulay's Ministry of 1835. With that, many schools began, English schools began all over India. And today in India, we have about 171 dioceses, 14 ecclesiastical region, 26 lakhs, 96,800 teachers, 5 crore 19 lakhs, 48,600 students in that, according to the CBC data. The origin of Catholic Church in the Northeast, you can see the church began in Northeast with the Assam. Today's Assam, those days Assam is today's all the Northeast, the 7 states comprised. And the Assam mission was entrusted with the Salvatorian missionaries, and they came into Shillong, the headquarters, in February 27, 1890, and considered to be the origin or the beginning of Catholic Church in the Northeast. From there, they began a lot of Catholic schools, which gave rise to Catholic education in the Northeast, and it is very visible today. And we can see the first schools in the Northeast began. The St. Anthony's, and just I have highlighted there. And high school for girls, first high school for girls was began in 1909. First technical school was in Shillong. The first primary school for girls, I said already mentioned. School for boys at Edmonds began. And then later, after the First World War, the mission was given to Don Bosco, and they come in 1921 and they begin to expand the education. We have the Don Bosco schools practically everywhere. These are the education institution that is in the Northeast India. Under these many dioceses, 50 dioceses are there. Origin of Catholic education in Nagaland. Catholic education came along with the Catholic Church to Nagaland. It has a unique history of coming. Many missionaries visited Nagaland. If you look for the first Sinon from Dhaka, just visited in 1847. He just came and touched. No much details are available. Then second person to come was Father Marcelino, was thinking of staying here. He came and settled in Tamil for some time, in the Longland district now, and he worked among the Nagas. Nagas here, Davos, and then could not stay, so he went back. Then the next person who passed by the first missionary of Imphal passed through Nagaland, that is Amar Kong, the German. But all this did not work. But officially, the church began in Nagaland by the coming of the missionaries. That is on 31st December 1948, with the arrival of the first missionaries. Already mentioned the sister Margarita and Gaudalape along with the chaplain. And they came to Kohima to work in the Naga hospital on the invitation of the then Assam Governor Akbar Haida. He had a contract with the Bishop Marengo those days, accordingly they came. And then we have the birth of the Diocese of Kohima. The Diocese of Kohima began in 1973. Till then, it was till from 1934 to 1951, it was under the Shillong Diocese, and from 51 to 73 under Viva-Voce. And from 73, it became an independent diocese. It was known as Imphal Kohima, and Imphal got separated in 1980. We have four bishops here. I just mentioned their names. Bishop Abraham Allen went the first bishop, second was Jos Mukala, and then Dominic Lumen, and Master James Topoli is the bishop even now. Then prior to the beginning of Catholic Church in the Diocese of Nagaland, we had 7 schools already established under the Diocese of the Brother. And these schools are, as you can see there are 7 schools. And then we have 7 Sundays were there. Now we have 12 schools where, and those 12 schools are as follows. Chitupalur School was the first school to begin, and then we have St. John's School in Tuansa, Kohima, and then All Saints School, Parent, Konam, and then the list goes accordingly. Diocese of Kohima take lands. The total Catholic population is 905. Then we have got the 109 diocese priests, 100 religious priests, 490 sisters, and then we have the schools and things there. Part-time categories already just headlines. Then we had struggles also in the spread of the education. So few important struggles I have mentioned there. The challenges faced by the Catholic missionaries in the spread of the Catholic education. And see, these are the challenges they faced: transportation, language problem, competition and denomination, scarcity of finance, infrastructure shortage. Then we have made a scale of this analysis and it is given there just to understand. And the total number of Catholic schools in Nagaland, it is given in district where there are 107 Catholic schools here. We have 77 rural and 30 of them are urban. So most of our schools are in the rural area. The total number of the Catholic schools we have, that's also 70,194 students we have. Out of that, if you can see, we only 9,180 are Catholic. 1,000 students are non-Catholics. We have got 34,758 boys and 35,436 girls. You can see some of the gender ratio there. And then we have the or the staff classes. I have categorized male, female, and the totals there. We have got the priests and sisters. So together we have 344 Catholic, male, female together. The teachers we have 875. Non-Catholics we have 1,152 students serving in our schools. So total there are 2,371 staff. We have about 40 staff here again. And we can see here one thing: ladies are more than men in the Catholic schools. So I have just mentioned that the total enrollment of the non-mainly schools, that is 1,06,381. Total number of the private schools, including Catholic schools, and this is the total enrollment of the state, the entire state, comprising of all the schools, private, government, everything together. We have the 3,000. In chapter 3, we have quality of Catholic education. To investigate, the objective of the chapter is to investigate the degree to which the Catholic mission work promote quality of education, quality of schools, quality of teaching, quality of teachers, and quality of students. That is what I'm not going too detailed into that chapter. The hypothesis is here. Now we have the analysis and findings of the hypothesis. Then we have regression analysis for the Catholic mission work and quality of education. Here we can see the hypothesis that the Catholic mission work does not promote the quality of education perceived by the stakeholders of Catholic institution. After being the significant value is 0.00, which is smaller than the table, the p value 0.05. The hypothesis now is rejected. Hence, the Catholic mission will promote the quality of Catholic education as perceived by the stakeholders of Catholic institution. The second hypothesis is analyze the Catholic mission work does not promote the quality of schools as perceived by the stakeholders of Catholic institutions of Nagaland. Here also the significant value is 0.00, which is smaller than the table value of 0.05, and the null hypothesis rejected. So the Catholic mission work promote the quality of education. And the third hypothesis is the Catholic mission work does not promote the quality of teaching as perceived by the stakeholders. Here also we can see the same format, the same we can see the significant value is less than the p value, the table value, and the Catholic mission work, the hypothesis rejected, and the Catholic mission will promote the quality of teaching. The real analysis for the Catholic mission work does not promote the next hypothesis, the quality of teachers are perceived by the stakeholder of the Catholic institution. Here, the significant value is 0.00, which is smaller than the table value of 0.05. Hence, the null hypothesis rejected. So, the Catholic mission will promote the quality of teachers as perceived by the stakeholders of the state. The next hypothesis, the Catholic mission work does not promote the quality of students as perceived by the stakeholders of the Catholic institution. Here also we can see the significant value is 0 and is less than the table value, hence the null hypothesis is rejected. Hence, the Catholic mission work promote the quality of schools. The hypothesis quality of schools does not contribute to the quality of education. After the analysis, we can see that the table value, the significant value is here 0.0, and it is less than the table value. Hence, the quality of school promote the quality of education. We have the next hypothesis: quality of teaching does contribute to the quality of education. After going through that, we can see here the significant value is 0.232, which is greater than the table value. That means the hypothesis we cannot negate. So it is accepted. That means there is no quality of teachers, quality of teachers does not contribute to the quality of education. The next hypothesis, quality of teachers does not contribute to the quality of education. Here also we can see the significant value is 0.00, which is smaller than the table value of 0.05. Hence, the null hypothesis is rejected. So again, so the quality of teachers promote the quality of education. Next one we have, next hypothesis is the quality of students does not contribute to the quality of education perceived by the stakeholders of Catholic institutions in Nagaland. Here also we can see the significant value is 0.00, which is less than the table value. So the hypothesis is rejected. Hence, the quality of student promote the quality of education. Then we have the fourth chapter. Fourth chapter, the objective is to examine the impact of Catholic education on the performance of students, career advancement of students, and employability of the students regarding the education of Nagaland. Based on this, we have the analysis and the findings. Here, the hypothesis tested is there is no significant impact of the Catholic mission work on the performance of students. That is what was seen. But we can see here the significant value is 0.00, which is smaller than the table value 0.05. Hence, there is a significant impact of the Catholic mission work on the performance of students perceived by the stakeholders of the Catholic institutions. The hypothesis of this is done. There is no significant impact of the Catholic mission work on the career advancement of the students. But it shows the other way. We can see the significant value is 0.00, which is smaller than the table value of 0.05. And so there is a significant impact of the Catholic mission work on the career advancement of students as perceived by them. Then we have next hypothesis, there is no significant impact of the Catholic mission work on the achievement of students. Here also we can see the significant value is 0.000, which is less than the table value. So the hypothesis is rejected. So there is a significant impact of the Catholic mission work on the achievement of students. Then we have the next and the next chapter, individuals of Catholic mission. The objective is to analyze the contribution of Catholic mission work in the promotion of standard of living of the supportive staff, empowerment of people, and social service in the Naga society. Here we have taken the ISET test for two sample means of Catholic mission work and standard of living of the staff. The hypothesis is that there is no significant association between Catholic mission work and the standard of living of supportive staff perceived by the Catholic staff. There we can see the two tiles. The is the association between the values and the related data are tested with this test, and we can see if it is below 0.05 can be accepted, and if it is above, which is rejected. And we can see that given the objective, there is this hypothesis being rejected, and there is a close association between the Catholic mission work and the standard of living of the supportive staff. The next hypothesis tested is there is no significant association between Catholic mission work and the empowering of people. And then we can see again the test. Sorry. You can see that the value, it is again 0.00. It is less than the p value. Therefore, the hypothesis is rejected. So we say that there is a significant association between Catholic mission work and the empowering. And the next hypothesis, the last one is to be tested, is there is no significant association between Catholic mission work and social service are perceived by the stakeholders of Catholic social organization. And we can see the test done there. It is the p value is higher. The significant value is more than the p value. That means we cannot reject this hypothesis. It's been accepted that yes, there is no significant association between the Catholic and the social services. Then, based on the findings and analysis, we have the recommendations for even below. Given the objective hypothesis and methodology, the above analysis and based on the findings, recommendations are as follows. The first recommendation: Catholic missionary is involved in the mission work and need to enhance the present mission work by balancing education and social service activities with the various religious activities for the benefit of the society of Nagaland. The Catholic schools need to uplift the education curriculum to the international level to match the 21st century. The Catholic schools need to improve learning skills scientifically along framing the pedagogy according to the need of the student. The Catholic schools need to improve the students' reading habits and encourage them to develop a habit of self-learning. Catholic schools prioritize improving their library, science labs, and computer labs. They should update the infrastructure of these resources. Young hearts and minds should be fed with the facts, the scientific knowledge, and historical discoveries from library books. Catholic schools should arrange medical classes for the weak students, and this should be based on the curriculum based only on oriented on the student. Catholic schools should improve their teaching methods according to the learning capacity of the students. They should arrange a way that should help the students very easier. Catholic schools should provide clean drinking water to all the students and staff, and should be a priority in a Catholic school. In Catholic schools principals, headmasters, headmistresses, and other head institutions should devote sufficient time and attention to improve the quality of education in their school. Catholic schools should only appoint training to teachers if possible. If any untrained teachers are there, they should be facilitated to get trained. Catholics should be enhanced the enumeration of the supportive staff. Catholic schools direct the teachers to have constructive interaction with the students. Catholic schools should provide students with the career advancement, counseling, directions of clearing different competitive exams, information. Catholic schools and teachers should encourage students to participate in innovation projects. Catholic schools need to allot a period for every class to develop leadership skills. The curriculum of Catholic schools should be employability oriented. Yearly or half yearly, a week-long faculty development program need to be organized for teachers and staff, exposing the objectives of academic studies. Every Catholic schools need to develop or have its website with historical information and correct data. Subjects linked with the professional courses need to be introduced at the elementary level. Teachers are to be given opportunity to study either B.Ed or higher studies. Research limitations. We have few limitations. That's only Catholic schools in Nagaland participated in this survey. Some delays in turning the questionnaires in some cases. Some restricted the comments as they were only for Catholic schools. However, a few deviations could not submit their responses by the collection deadline. Some prominent respondents expressed hesitation about sharing sensitive information during the interviews. Additionally, some respondents limited their comments on mission schools, indicating that they felt the study is not pertaining to the program of industry or would not impact the scope of other research. Other researches can be taken on quality and effectiveness of Catholic schools, comparative analysis of Catholic schools and of the private schools, shedding light on unique attributes of each. Difference in education quality between rural and urban Catholic schools. Possibility of exploration of the education models employed by the Catholic schools. Quality of teaching in Catholic schools compared to private schools. NEP and Catholic schools. The various aspects can be taken up for further research. And back to priest and nuns in students' spiritual and academic development. Assessment of the social service provided by the Catholic Church in Nagaland can be another. In conclusion, The arrival of the Catholic Church in Nagaland marked a significant chapter in the history of Nagaland, particularly in the introduction of education and essential services. The Catholic mission has played a crucial role in promoting quality education in Nagaland. From the humble beginning, Catholic education has become a cornerstone of Naga society, producing leaders and professionals who have made a significant contribution to Naga society and the region. The Catholic Church perspective on education is fundamentally aligned with its mission to uphold human dignity, promote holistic development, and impart the value of education. That is how education. Catholic missionaries' contribution towards education is remarkable, and it is to be worth noted. The self-sacrificing lives of Catholic missionaries are an inspiration to many. Catholic missionaries are involved in providing quality mission work in Nagaland through education, social work, and various religious activities benefiting the Nagas. There is a great deal of appreciation of Catholic education and mission work. There is also opposition to Catholic mission work. Despite the opposition, apathy, and radicals, the church stands firm in commitment to education in Nagaland. It will continue its mission of education in Nagaland as a loving service to God and man, as the motto of the late Bishop, the first Bishop Abraham Aleni. List of presentations that I had earlier, list of publications, and thank you for patiently listening.
No. Alright, so we'll have a question hour and discussion hour. So if there's any questions,
Uh, uh, with respect to the external examiner, the supervisor, I have I would like to pose two questions and one suggestions. So, Father, the first question is from your chapter 1. If you could kindly highlight to us the theoretical framework or the conceptual framework that you have used to formulate your research. The second question is, as a historian, archival work is very important to justify your research work. And therefore, the question is, if you have done any archival work to support your findings, that is your chapter 6. So those are the two questions. And finally, my one suggestion is that, to my mind, as a historian, I think it is our job to understand history and present the facts and be truthful and do away with biasness. So in that sense, I think the recommendations should be left for the policymakers and the stakeholders. And we, as a historian, thus present in the history, the past, as far as how much truthful we can be in our presentation. So this is maybe something that you can further discuss with your supervisor. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we have already shown two slides there. We have used methods like deductive, qualitative, quantitative approach we have used. And then we have used again other various methodologies like descriptive analysis. And then we have used experimental, we have used various other just to cover the process. So we have used those ones there. we have used that because the research depends on the questionnaires and the data that we collected. We use methodologies. I used a deductive approach and deductive approach, qualitative approach, and the quantitative approach. And then like such as exploratory research method, descriptive method, and the empirical research method.
Methodology. Methodology is which is the conceptual framework, theoretical framework.
The theoretical framework is actually we have the theory because in order to data to be tested, hypotheses were built on, and then while doing that one, we have analyzed hypotheses accordingly, and we are used correlations, accept the hypotheses, and the theory that we have used is there are few theories like the samples that we read, then for the samples we are used. That's Morgan, and then we have used the sampling, we have taken the purposive methods, and we are used that. And then again, you are used about the analysis, we are used SSP software we are used. And then if you ask me the other history, the second question since I was trying to declare that this one, the second question at least, about the history part of it. Archive. Yes, I have done a lot of archives. The problem is that the Catholic Church has a systematic way of recording these documents. And it is available not publicly actually, but it is available with the church, and we call it the church chronicles. Every activity should be mentioned there. From the day the church begins, the school begins. Who comes, who goes, what activities we had, how many students, all that is being recorded in the school as well as the church chronicles. So the data are available, which is not otherwise available in the public domain. Also, there are many of the data that we collect is not available because, like souvenirs, for example, the history the people write, it is not published. Therefore, we can't quote them. That's one problem. These chronicles are available. I can't quote them here because it is not published anywhere, and I cannot authentically say that this is it because it is in the private chronicle of a particular church, and it cannot be taken out from there. We have an archive, and the system is kept there. So some things. Then we have got like our Catholic education as a commission here. The data are available in that office, so we collect that one from that office, but it is not published anywhere. It is only on the private subject. That's the reason we went for the study to see how we are doing and all that, collect together, find together, and put together all these data so that will be available later on for a common use.
Good morning, Father. I'm a little bit confused here because when we have started, Father, I wanted to give you some suggestion also for further study. When I see the topic, I find like something also can be added to make more impact in that. Because when you have started presenting, like you were talking about history, because Father, I'm going to tell you, like I have also started my teaching career from the Catholic institution. Yeah, so there and now I've come here. So I have experienced something, but I don't have deep knowledge about that. So I cannot tell you exactly. I make mistake also. So please pardon me, everyone. If in case, if you get an opportunity to work further with the seed, I think if you can make it a kind of a study on impact of socio-economic something development, no? Because when you have started your presentation, no, you were talking about history. This is history, and somewhere or the other, I find like history is not exactly like what you were saying and what I've experienced. It was not matching. That is why I was a little confused in that. So I was thinking like, what question should I ask? I have written down here 5 questions before I forget that. So, but I have cut down 3 questions. So I have 2 questions now. And then when you started talking about development, here also something like it's amazing. I didn't find any kind of impact in your study. Something which I can. Oh yes, something is there. Like, which comes with a lot of kind of information. But the information was very casual. Don't get me wrong, Father, but you have done a very good presentation. But in that slide, when you prepare, make the letter a little bit bold so that it's visible. I think the size is a little bit shorter. We can make it 20 plus. So, Father, like questions that I have, 2 questions I'd like to ask you, Father. What are the future plans and aspirations of Catholic education institutions in Nagaland? This is the first question. And second one I have, in what ways did the historical contacts of Nagaland, including conflict and insurgency, shape the development of Catholic education?
Okay, I answer the first one. That's okay. Sorry, but this. Can you repeat that question once? I just.
What are the future plans?
Okay, so future plans. Yes, I'm very good short. What we asked. The future plans about church, of course, I can't say this is it, but as a body, the bishop decide. But the future plan is to up to date our education system to the modern period. Because the time has changed. There was a time we need to produce certain educated people. Time has changed now. We need to find employability, sustainability, and also we have to find a kind of livelihood for the people. So our education should slightly focus differently, and also should be depth. And then in Catholic schools, when you say it is not for quality, that quality what matches what? If it is only remains only in the school and it doesn't have any connection with the life. And we see sometimes this kind of a problem. We see one side, we can see most of the good students, you are studied in the Catholic school. We have big people studied there. But when they come out and you see in Catholic schools, we emphasize on values and all those systems we teach, but we see the society the other way. We can see the society just the opposite sometimes. And our own Catholic students are there. So what impact did we make, as you said, sometimes? So therefore we need to reassess sometimes. So we need to reframe our curriculum sometimes. That's why we want to make this kind of study and see where we stand actually. What is the stand that the church should be taken? So the future definitely we will have to take into account all these things and we may rework on our curriculum and framework. I'm not very sure what we will do, but these are recommendations which I made. And it is to carry out or not carry out, we cannot tell anyone that you carry out by this is the study I did. So I found the recommendation, therefore I am doing the recommendation. And then I'm submitting it. It's up to the people who are concerned with this particular education taking the and I being one of them, definitely it will be taken part, not in all the places, but in the place where I work, definitely I will work without it. So there is a way of, so we cannot say that there are also. And the second question, is it okay? What's the second question? You said,
in what ways did the historical context of Nagaland, including conflict and insurgencies, shape the development of Catholic education?
If you look at it, there is a problem we had. If you are aware or not, I don't know. Early days, we had some schools in certain areas. For example, I just start with that one. We have a place where, for example, the Assam, which was closed down for many days because of the fight between two insurgency groups. The school was closed for many days. And then we could not. And then people were not allowing to join them the school because they were taking them, telling them the school. Then what impact if we ask, as an insurgent group, they have not made any type of impact on our schools because they respected the system. In fact, the insurgents or whatever you call it, we never face a problem in the schools because of that issues. But we are trying to make employability for the people, the students who also study with us. If they are achieving their career and all that, this can be also sorted out. From which side of the problem you look at it? If you look at it, insurgency as a problem and what Catholic Church wanted to do, if that's the way, then the other way. And if you say how this insurgency affected our Catholic Church, I mean the school or not, I don't think the insurgency as such directly had any impact on the or affected our Catholic schools. I think
Any more question?
Congratulations for that. I have some questions regarding the research gap. What kind of research gap you identify from the literature so far, and how you frame your research questions for your objective topics?
I just mentioned a few books. See, about the Catholic Church contribution, many have many reviews are not there. Many have studied properly actually. Even if it is there a little bit, and it is not properly chronologically as an order. In a order, it is not put down. Systematically, it is not been recorded. And it is not being studied. For example, the Catholic education point in Nagaland, I think there are not many books, many reviews. Many are not studied. They are studied as a Northeast, they are studied. From Shillong, they studied few items. But coming down to Nagaland, not many have studied on Catholic schools, the history, how they originated, what are the trouble they had, what are the development in step by step. And that's one question they had, the development I did not see because I limited my slides. That is why this problem there, because to cut down the time, I cut down the slides so it is not visible there, but it is quite visible in this one. So the gap was there that nobody studied this one. Therefore, I took up the study. The literature is available on Catholic, but not on Catholic Church in Nagaland particular or Catholic education particular. Is it okay? No?
Thank you, Father. Then regarding your research questions.
Yeah, based on that one, based on the objectives and the hypothesis form, accordingly I put the questions. And I distributed to all the Catholic schools and collected the data from them. And then we put together and analyzed and made the findings.
Since we are from history background, so and we know since history is mostly focused on archival sources and theoretical framework, right? So how do you fit your study into historical narrative?
Because so we need to study historical narrative because the past is not just forgotten; it has something to.
Your study
Okay.
related to your Catholic education in Nagaland.
Yes. Yeah, I because I wanted to see how we began and how the origin took. I mean, how we began as a school systems and where we began, and then we saw the development, how it grew from that very beginning. We had only just few schools, then we came up, and then each time, each bishop's timing or how they contributed, and then how it took the next forwarding lane, and then we wanted to see this history. And then we worked in this system, and then we did missionaries. Many good schools are there, some are not good, some are good. Then there are a lot of opinions are there. So I went for a historical way to find that what are the historical aspects of my studies. Mainly to note down and to systematically record them. Though it is available, but it is nothing like it is available in the archive, it is available in some writing of a particular church, unit church or unit one school, it is there, but it's not put together, or it is not collected together, or it is compiled. So I wanted to do that too. So the historic perspective, because I'm from the history background, so I thought of doing it from the historic background, the past to study and make the changes possible in the future.
But how does it fit into historical narrative?
Because we study about the origin, how it began all about, who are the people behind it. So we are studying actually history there. It's completely history. Because from 1947 and even prior to that one is one history. Then 1947 till today, how the church and how it worked, how it goes, how it developed into. So it all comes as a part of that history. So we are started in the far-flung basis. So, for example, we started in some schools in 1964, where there are no schools at all. We began, why we began, what were the things that I was trying to put together, all that, and looking at it in historical perspectives.
Since your topic is on Nagaland, so can you share some key literature on Catholic education in Nagaland that has shaped your study?
Yeah, there is one is impact. There is a book called A Brief History of Catholic Church in Nagaland by David Smith. It gives it. Then Father Thomas John's one book is there. Impact of Catholic Church into this one. Then again there is a Father Uttam Kurathi's book is there. Impact of Catholic education, not a Catholic Church. And these books, when you look, and there are unpublished books also out there, which I cannot quote because isn't the book there, but we can't quote them because it is not like the Jesuit, even to the far east is called. And they came from all the way from and that book also gives an idea about it. And 100 years, the century of Catholic Church of Northeast, there's a book by and and that book also gives a kind of guidelines to this historical perspectives.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
For
much.
such a great. Congratulations, Supervisor. Before I go to my own questions, there are few questions which other external examiners bring it to us. Number one, why the scholar has opted for specific statistical method to derive the findings and not any other, like descriptive analysis?
Because I wanted to test the hypothesis numerically, the numerical data. So that will give a clear facts instead of being depending on a subjective. Because subjective history is okay, but we need to test them with the numerical data so we get the correct facts, and then we can accept or not accept. Numerically, we can do it. Therefore, we are taking certain specific.
I agree with you. Then, why did the scholar not cover the other education systems existing in Nagaland?
I did not make a comparative study. I studied only on Catholic education. Actually. So it can be taken up maybe another vast. So I made only the study of a Catholic Church only. It's not a comparative study. Neither with any other.
The other examiner has also pointed out this in the weakness of the thesis. Why other a little bit of comparative studies that be helpful, I think.
It would have been a vast thing, so I felt the study would have been vast. Therefore, I limited the.
Okay, acceptable. Then the question is, why did the scholar not make a brief history of the tribes in Nagaland?
Yeah, because see, those things are available a lot. You know, I had my DC meeting earlier, and then I came with it like that. And he said, these are not available. Why you want to multiply again and again? It's available in so many places, so many books, and if you want to take it, it's there everywhere. So I don't want to repeat the same. So I
Go straight to
that topic, yes, to the yes.
then yeah. You say there is only one test of filtration review. Is that so? The thesis?
Which one? No, I had made each. I categorized the topic wise. I put it overlooked.
That's
It's given every one.
okay. Yeah, a comparative study between Nagaland and other states of India could have added a value to this one.
Which two was. You cannot make because two states. One thing is there. Both the states are not same nature, and the Catholic Church influence also is different. If you look with Assam and Nagaland, then there won't be same. But then Meghalaya is different again. Manipur is different again. So when you make a comparison, it can be an independent study.
Okay, I'll come to my own questions. In fact, so much of statistical analysis those are new to I could not understand it, but only when you explain that becomes clear to me. The statistical part, only when you explain it, because that's when you can go quite convincing. Now, You have the thesis with you.
I guess we have to.
You open page 7. Page number 7. Towards the end of the page, key components of quality education of the Viva. Page number 7.
The key components of quality education includes the development skills.
Yeah.
Yes,
Key components of quality education include the
yes,
quality,
yes,
provision of appropriate school infrastructure, access to educational materials, scholarships, and highly qualified teaching staff.
yes.
Do you find all these components are?
Yes.
Found?
After going through, yes, we have found everything is there. I also asked the same question. Are we, our schools are qualified or not? That's when I studied this. I felt sometimes, is it quality education are we giving or something else? I too had this question, therefore we began that. This is our topic.
Firstly, you have so many recommendations.
Yeah, recommendations quite many because of the topic was vast and I studied accordingly.
Components of quality education are already there.
Yeah, but then what I have done, it is looking to self, like where there is a little bit of, I could have avoided them because it was not the study that is conducted, say you are happy or not. I wanted to see what actually, where we are standing. If we are taking it is even 1% is a little low, like I want to suggest. If otherwise there is nothing to suggest, like if we look at it, but then there are in some areas. But what the thing is like this, we are studying the schools in common of Nagaland. We have 107 schools. In up to 107 schools, we can see that the 10 schools maybe here 10 schools. So when we make comparison studies, we have to make certain suggestions. Some schools may have all these things. There can be one of the schools lacking.
Now, you're studying the process much more. Extremely easy.
Yes. Because it was actually the teachers. I have an interview in that we saw the analysis. The parents actually all were non-Catholics and non-Islam. And you can see I am not excluded this one only to Catholic. Absolutely no. It is open to, but only those who are associated with the Catholic education, Catholic school only. There are non-Catholics are there, Hindu, everyone is included.
Otherwise, violence is
Yes.
for subjectivity of studies, right? Okay, then there is one point which I find very interesting. At page 238, students are kept free from learning stress and enjoy learning, which is very, very important. Is it really true?
Sure.
How can it keep them?
Because we need, see, the problem is today the curriculum that we follow sometimes. Students are stressed, parents are stressed, everybody is under stress. And we think that the examination like a labor pain day, are not examination. We should be stress free. It should be a process of learning rather than just so we can have our framework, the curriculum we make accordingly. We make the exams very transparent and very simple way where they enjoy, and that is all thought about, and then make the education become a thing of learning by joy other than by stress.
I think this is important. The stressful condition study may not be anyway. Those are some of my questions. Many questions have been asked to you. There are a few comments that I want to make. I'm discussing on the thesis. There are some places where your referencing style is I think uniform referencing style should be. If you go to test number 7, for example. reference in science. Footnote systems are used, but in many texts, differential styles are used. I thought it would be better if it can use uniform differential style, then some explanations there, which is Australian type of symbol. I used to understand the numerical one instead of asking. That's a nice. And then some applications are missing in a list of applications. So, for example, OIEC, what does it stand for? Long form.
That is all international education forum. That was I missed that one. I know that. Yeah. It's not. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You are right. I only don't know Nagaland.
There are some suitable expressions. So, for example, for we're talking about the contributions
The various of calculations.
and neighbors of particular.
Yes.
And you were saying here the folks without appreciation for setting up to the region it is today. Not beginning to you very important, but for other readers,
Okay.
there is not appropriate thing. Then you some other I think you use a lot of personal.
Yes, I used. I used.
Same use of those
Yeah.
it's not
Because this is was quite big. So I don't put because other things are already there. So I said it will understand. So I didn't. Yes, things I don't put it there again to make it thicker.
primary sources and using it. We have lots of primary primary data.
But it was not published, so I cannot quote the year and things.
We didn't intend to publish it.
Those cannot be. That cannot. I mean, these are all chronicles and documents from the church side. So just not date, just not year, some of the.
And yes, examining of your thesis, I found all those analyses. Some questions being repeated, and then data analyzed. Those are little monotonous to me. Instead of all those things, if publication is to be done, I think that's my point of view on this. Only that kind of descriptive explanation of those things would be
Yes, I agree. Yes.
so many pages.
Yes, sir, I know. Because this is
type of
the systematic studies are showed. So as you said, I'll take care on any publication, I will take care.
right. You have done a great job. You have done a
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
very good, nice job. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
And conclude, I say we deserve to be awarded this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Sir, I'm really grateful to you for coming over. I take this moment to listen the vote of thanks. Is that okay, sir? Maria external, Indiana examiner, studies and all of you. I'm indeed very glad to stand before you to say a few words of appreciation. Thanks for all of you. This was a long cherished desire fulfilled through the inspiration of God and the guidance of many people. I'm grateful to my guide and supervisor, Dr. Avinuo, Chupuo, for her guidance, expertise, patience, encouragement, and unwavering support throughout this research. She has been an inspiration and guiding star, and her mentorship has enriched my knowledge and enabled me to complete this research today. Also, I thank her for taking all the trouble to plan this Viva, moderate, and coordinate my PhD Viva so well. Thank you, dear name, Dr. Avinuo, to be some asked me who is my guide. She is my guide. I thank external examiner, Honorable Professor Dr. Chonzik, Professor of Assam University, Diphu campus, for taking the trouble to be available during the Viva and awarding me the PhD degree. I only heard his name. I've not seen him in person or anything. Sir, you are so nice, so kind, and thank you for taking the trouble of coming to Dimapur and being my examiner. Thank you, sir. My sincere thanks to the respected internal examiner, Ma'am Dr. Lanuchila Changkiri, Assistant Professor, St.Joseph University, for being my external examiner in this Viva, also helping out in many ways. Then, thank you for the time and being available with us. A word of appreciation for Dr. Raja Ganesh, the Research Coordinator, St. Joseph University, for all the help and support during my research. Not today alone. I want to go back and thank him. I'm going to be so pleased with something. Then they should so patiently follow this other way, come back and through the guide. Sir, thank you for today being with us in this auspicious week. So thank you for your presence, sir. I am grateful to the Vice Chancellor who was an encouragement for me, the registrars, deans, heads of various departments, professors, academic members, students, technicians, and office staff for all the help I received today as well as any other days. I am grateful to the staff, the very special library, as well as other staff for the outreach of this university. I thank my friends who took the trouble of being here to attend. The same teachers whom I had interviewed them with these questionnaires. Some of them are here. I'm grateful to you for being here. And it's not last, but I'd like to thank my friends, fathers. There are quite many fathers. I requested them, not request, I extended my invitation as per the invitation. Yes, even from the places with the Burma border, from the Pumro, that's what this is. So I'd like to thank all of them in a very special way. Our sisters and all of you. Once again, I thank you. I thank all my friends and well-wishers who have come to attend my Viva. Thanks to one and all.